Okay, hey guys. So we are live right now. And this is sort of like a very impromptu interview that I basically just sort of arranged like last minute. But our my next guest was gracious enough to make time at the last minute. So thank you very much, Miss Jessica. Um,
No
and
problem.
and so guys, everyone watching right now, obviously we're live. And so I like to sort of go with like the live experience basically. So this is the first time that I'm meeting Jessica. So yeah, it's a complete stranger. I know nothing about her. So it's totally the opposite of how everyone should interview. You should totally do research on people, talk to them ahead of time. Me, I don't do that stuff. So, but it's not bad. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Not necessarily a bad thing. We're just we're gonna have a very light, easy, chill conversation. But before we do that, I'm just gonna roll the channel intro. So just stay with us.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much, guys. And like I said, I have a special guest with me. She's to my left. Her name is Jessica. I know nothing about her at all, but that's okay because we're all gonna get to know her a little bit more right now. So, Miss Jessica, again, thank you very much for joining us. Tonight. Again, I know this is last. I know this is last minute, late notice, but I appreciate you being flexible with it. Um,
No problem.
so so yeah, Jessica, why don't you just start by just telling us a little bit about yourself. Just introduce yourself, and pretty much just you can say whatever you want to say. It's open mic. So
Oh, okay. Well, my name's Jessica. I'm 34 years old. I'm a single mother of four children. Um, I've been divorced for about 8 years. I am half black and half Filipino. My mother is Filipino, and I love being in the AMBW community.
wow, all that was like awesome to hear. Except for like being the separated or what's it called divorce part. I'm sorry that happened. But so yeah, everything else is awesome. I mean, it's like I said, this is I love getting to know the guests at the same time that the audience does. So that's wonderful. So you, like you said, you are mixed heritage. You are Blasian, right? For I guess
Yes.
yeah yeah. So the I guess common term for it. Okay. So yeah, since you're Filipino, do you speak any Tagalog?
No, I speak a little, like I know certain phrases. My mom never taught me. To be honest, my mom hates it, but I speak more Korean than I do Tagalog.
Oh, hmm. Well, it's okay because yeah, I mean everybody. I mean I'm Chinese, but like I think I speak more Korean too.
It's
It's
because
like
it's so popping these days.
exactly. I mean it's like I said to someone else. It's like BTS, and I'm sure you, of course, you probably know who BTS is, but BTS is basically like the next Beatles. Like I feel like they're like the next sort of what I mean, like that level of popularity almost.
Yeah,
Um,
they're getting up there.
exactly. Hey Megan, how's it going? How's it going? So that's awesome. So we got more Blasian
Oh
representation in the house.
wow.
That's awesome. That's great. So so yeah, Jessica. So okay, well yeah, that's great. That's great. So I know that like I said, sorry, so many thoughts going through my head right now. But so what is your interest? I guess in like Korean culture and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, I'm a huge music person. Um, I used to songwrite. I don't. much anymore. Um, I used to sing as well, so music's always been huge in my life, and I've always liked different, a huge variety of genres. And my niece introduced me to K-pop a few years ago, after her mom died, my big sister, and that kind of was my way of bonding with my niece because she didn't have a mom anymore. And I didn't think I was gonna like it because when my sister was still alive, my niece did introduce me to it, and I was just like, I was working like 7 days a week, so I was like, oh, cool, bye. I didn't really pay attention to it. But once I was really trying to spend time with her, I actually paid attention to it, and I loved the music. It always made me want to dance. And but my first K-pop group was GOT7, and their personalities were hilarious, and I loved it. And then she got me into watching K-dramas, and I was like, oh my God, I love this stuff. And so, to be honest, she's 21 now, and she isn't even, she's not even really into it anymore. And I'm still like going strong, like, oh my, I love this. It's pretty funny. And everybody's like, you like K-pop? I'm like, yeah, don't hate.
Uh-huh.
It's good shit.
That's,
But yeah, so that's how I got into it.
yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. And I'm sorry to hear that about your sister.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I think it is at the same time, kind of bittersweet, right? That was introduced to, or sorry, were introduced, was introduced to K-pop. And like I said before, K-pop is very, I mean, like I said, I think everyone else in the world is like more familiar with it than I am. I mean, like I've been, through all these interviews I've been doing, I've been sort of getting more used to it and listening to it a few times. But it's just like honestly for me, like I try, like I'm obviously I'm also of Asian heritage. I tried listening to it. I really couldn't get into it. It's just really to me, it's kind of like and this is not to throw shade at it or like anyone who actually enjoys it, but like to me, it's kind of like kind of like techno with like Asian lyrics involved. I don't know. It's just like I said. I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but it's just not. I don't know. Maybe it's just not for me. You know.
Well, you have to just, to be honest, because I've been into it for so long and I'm not just like stuck on one. God
Uh-huh.
7 was my all-time favorite, but I got to learn about a lot more artists and a lot of different, there's like rock, there's all, there's like ballads, slower songs. And to be honest, with GOT7, they really pulled me in because even with their like slower songs,
Uh-huh.
even though I didn't like, if I wasn't watching the captions, I could still feel like their emotion when they sang.
Uh-huh.
So for me, that was a huge thing.
Uh-huh.
But, and a lot of it was like really cool and made me want to dance. But I do get, there's more of like the R&B slow types where I can actually like feel the emotions in the songs. That's what
Uh-huh.
I'm more into, to be honest.
No, no, that's cool. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely feel what you're saying. Um, so and also I want to say it's also a relief that that you also told us your age because I'm closer to that age and I feel like I've been interviewing people who are usually a lot older than I am or a lot younger. So it's nice to it's nice to talk to another 30 30 because I think I'm a little bit older than you. Yeah, I'm 34. So you said that you're 33, right? So
No,
yeah,
I'm 34.
you're 34? Oh,
Yeah,
awesome. Great. Perfect. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, to be honest
I'm a
with you,
Duna.
exactly. Well, yeah, like I said, it's kind of for some reason as I've been getting older, it's like it's just kind of harder to maybe I fall out of touch with people that are close to my age or whatever. But it's like I
It
don't know
is.
people. Yeah.
It is because of life. I mean, life happens, and life gets busy. You have to. I literally have like no friends. A few years back, I had like so many friends, and now I have none. And my excuse is hashtag mom life, to be honest.
That's honestly that's probably the best excuse, right? You know what I mean? 'Cause it's definitely like I said, I don't have kids of my own, or not none that I know of. I don't know, maybe I do. But no, no, I would like to, and so, but yeah, sort of on segueing on that topic, what is it like? You know what I mean for you, like living, being a single mother, or, you know what I mean, just having kids in general. Like how does that
Mhm.
impact your life? I guess.
It's definitely very busy. It's challenging. It's not easy at all. I love my children and I give my life for them. Um, they, at the same time, they are my world and they make me happy and they keep me entertained. My girls are K-pop lovers as well. So we get to bond through that. Like my daughter every day is like, "Oh my God, mom, did you see NCT? Mom, did you see?" Like she's a multi-stan, so she's all over the place. But I get to bond with them over lots of things because I'm into anime as well. I'm into football. My son's a football player. I actually went to his last regular season game today, and his championship games start next week. So they keep me busy and entertained. But like I said, it is not easy. It's very hard. It's hard to stay sane, especially with four, because they all have different personalities and there's always the, fighting here and there, and you got to be like, you have to play bad guy sometimes, and it's hard, especially for me because I don't like being the bad guy. But when it comes to my kids, I have to.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I definitely look forward to being a parent one day. Myself, and but basically, from what I've heard from you is like what I've heard from pretty much anyone else, with kids. Especially people like in my own family, relatives. It's just, it's stressful, but it's like the good kind of stress. So they
Yeah,
wouldn't, no one would ever trade that for anything. Which is great, which is great.
yeah.
Um, so okay, so I do want to get sort of back on track with like I guess like Ambw and stuff like that because I know, that that you said that you have like I guess a very big interest in that. And so I just had a couple of questions, just sort of out of curiosity. Um, and I'm again, I know everyone watching. Yeah, this is the first time that we're talking to her, so I know nothing about her. But if I, if I'm not. Usually these interview goes well, so that I don't necessarily offend or dig too deep, too personal into someone's life. Obviously,
It's
but
super hard to
so
offend me, and I'm an open
okay,
book, so we're fine.
okay. So all right. So I was just wondering, like, you're the I guess the father of your children, is he what ethnicity? He's not Asian, is he?
No, he's Mexican because I live in a small town right outside of Fresno where there's like no Asians, which is frustrating. There's like two other Filipino families over here. That's about it. And those two girls, those two families have like two girls in them that are my age, so we went to high school together and we're like really close. But that's about it. There's no Asian guys out here. No.
Well, that sucks. So but yeah, because Asian guys are awesome. We're great. No, so but yeah, so I was just wondering. So sort of like kind of deviating from that really quickly. Just another question. Um, so growing up, like, would you say that you were close to like both sides of your family, like sort of like that? Did you experience sort of like culture clash at all or anything like that?
No, my mom, both my parents have been in my life till this day. My mom was she basically is one out of like 13 siblings, but they're like spread out all over. Um, I did know my mom's sister more than any of my aunts and uncles, even from my dad's side. But I did know, I mean, my dad has four siblings, and I did meet all of them, but I didn't spend as much time with them as I did with my aunt, my mom's sister. So I grew up making Filipino food, and my mom just kind of she made it really easy, to be honest, on me and my sisters because she just raised us in the way that she thought was right. And so we did soul food, we did Filipino food. I When I was younger, we were in the Catholic church with some of my mom's Filipino friends and stuff. And then when I was like around 9, um, we ended up going to a Christian church. My parents are pastors. Um, so I didn't really, and to be honest, I never. People always they're like, "Oh, you're black," so and they try to, people try to stereotype me all the time, and I'm like, No, I mean, yes, I am black, but I'm not what you people like. I'm not what you think that I am. I'm just myself, to be honest. I've never been I've never been able to meet anyone's, you know, I guess label of me, stereotype. I'm a very different type of person, I guess I could say.
Well, that's interesting to hear. Um, because for me personally, like growing up, I actually have like some Filipinos in my family, not like through blood or anything like that. I'm not mixed, unfortunately. I'm just kind of one thing. And it's kind of boring. But so I didn't really have a whole lot of exposure outside of my relatives, who I didn't meet until much later, to Filipinos. Like growing up where I did in Pasadena, California. They it was mostly, if there were Asians, it's mostly Chinese or Korean, maybe like one or two Japanese, and then mostly white, some Hispanic, a few, like a few everything else, like Native American, Black, Indian, and anything like that. It was kind of diverse, but not really. So unfortunately, it was that way. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just sort of so. I guess for me, it's kind of funny because like a lot of the Filipino people that I've met, like a lot of them are just very chill. A lot of them are just very laid back people, and
Yeah,
I find that Filipino culture is interesting, but it's just like for the most part, like what I remember about them is just very kind of homely, warm, accepting people. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like they're just very down to earth people.
very.
So yeah, I mean, not only Chinese, we're stuck up motherfuckers. Like we're like we're kind of like we kind of walk around with like six surprises. No, I'm just kidding. Only some of them, like some people in my family for sure. But that's cool. That's great. Like I said, I always sort of kind of tell myself, I'm grateful for having my parents and my family and everything like that in my life. But at the same time, like it would have been cool to have some sort of mixed kind of heritage, and in my family's bloodline. And my aunt actually came up with she traced our family roots, and I was like, oh, so are we mixed? Are we mixed? And she's like, no, we're just all Chinese, sorry. Like there's no anything, no other Asian, no white, no black, Hispanic, nope. No, okay. But yeah, so that's cool. So you sorry, so you say that you live in Fresno, right? Or just
Yeah,
outside of it? That's cool. I don't think I think I've passed through it a few times. Have you ever been up to LA?
yeah, several times.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
actually went to a Got Seven concert out there, and I saw Jay Park
No.
live.
Nice. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's great. So getting back to MW. So are you? So I take it that you have interest in Asian guys, or I guess is it mostly Koreans or like?
No, Asian men in general.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Think that's the right answer, because everyone watching at home, especially for all the ladies watching, Korean guys are not the only type of Asian guys that exist.
No,
So
they are not.
so please get that fantasy out of your head. Besides, they're kind of overrated anyway. No, no. So you can date whoever you want. It's kind of like after a while you kind of get sick. Like every time I remember there was this place that I worked at, and then there was this girl that worked like in the subway that was across from my workplace. I'll go there a lot, and she was actually kind of cute. I think she was kind of into me. And then learned later from her coworkers that she was like K-pop fan, and would like just discuss that. And she ended up asking me, "Oh, are you Korean?" And I should have said yes. I mean, I should just like if they had to ask, then obviously they don't know the difference. But I just like
Yeah.
a dummy, I said no, and she just immediately lost interest. I was like, oh well, lesson learned there. Next time a non-Asian girl asks you if you're Korean, just say yes. It's okay. Um, so have you ever dated Asian guys?
Any what?
Sorry, let me start over. Have you ever like talked to or like dated an Asian guy before?
I'm terrible at dating,
Hmm.
but I have had what's a good word? Um, I did like kind of like a long distance relationship one time with a Filipino guy. Um, it didn't last long, or I think it lasted like a month. And then after we decided to stop doing that, he invited me out to where he was, which was in LA. And I spent the weekend with him and some of his Filipino friends, which was really cool They were really awesome people, and like they're Filipino, so it was really cool. It was fun. That was interesting. He was cool, very chill, but hmm, I don't have words for that. um, and then there was this Korean guy who he was cool, but he was looking for more of a FWB type
Oh, more of like a physical thing.
deal.
Mm.
So that didn't work out. We're still friends though.
Mm.
I like making
Yeah.
friends, so it was cool. But and then I mean, a lot of Asian men like try to talk to me online, but lately I just haven't had time for anyone. So
Mm. So you're still currently single right now, is that correct?
yes.
Okay. So all the single Asian guys watching, she is single. I will list her Instagram and everything else that I can. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like,
um,
oh, okay.
well, actually, you know what? No, I mean just sort of put it since sort of brought it up and like putting it out there for you also. We have on this channel we have done blind Zoom dates before.
Oh wow.
And as the title suggests, they're all over Zoom. So basically, the guys aren't necessarily located in the same state, but just as long as they have access to Zoom and they have half a brain or whatever, and they're Asian, why not? um, so if you would be interested in something like that later on, we could talk about that. I could try to set you up. And also for anyone else out there watching, if you're a single lady, interested in that sort of thing, then just hit me up, and I will do my best to try and set something up. Um, I mean, Jessica, well, I just have a couple more questions because I don't want to take up too much of your time.
You're
Um,
good. It's to be honest, it's a surprise that I even have time today. My two daughters went to go spend the night at my niece's house, and my boys are here, but they're really tired from the game. So I was like, oh look, I have
mhm.
a moment.
um, well, we are grateful that you do have time. Um, so yeah. So what would you say? I guess what was I gonna say? Is there some place like for instance, like I guess like in Asia or something like that that you haven't traveled to that you would like to go to at some point?
There is a digital arts museum in Japan, and I've seen a video of it, and it looks beautiful, and I want to go there. Other than that, I want to go to Korea and go find the AOMG office and try to find Jay Park so we could get married. That's it.
Well, I do know on I don't know if I assume that are you in part of like any of the Ambw groups online, like on Facebook and stuff?
I used to be, but I had to deactivate my old Facebook account because I got hacked.
Oh.
So now with my new account, I haven't joined any yet.
Mm,
But I with my old account, I was in quite a few.
mm. Yeah, because I was gonna say I'm in them too, and I see a lot of the women there, like planning, trips and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how serious they are about it, but I assume they kind of are because they keep talking about it, about
Yeah,
planning trips to Korea and well, pretty much just Korea, nobody else, nowhere else. But again, it's not a slight against Koreans. I just don't honestly whatever. Whatever. So, at but yeah, okay. Well, you know what? I'm actually gonna end it here because I know you're a very busy woman, and but we do appreciate, I do appreciate, you taking the time to talk to us. I know this is kind of like literally like I said before, last minute, but I had a fun time talking with you. I'm sure everyone watching had a good time watching and watching on the replay too. By the way, if you're watching on the replay live, please like this stream, like this video, like. Comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Everything on that. Jessica, you're absolutely very very nice to interview. You're absolutely welcome back on this channel. I would definitely like to keep in touch. And everyone watching, like I said, if you guys have time and are interested in being interviewed, hit me up because I always like meeting new people and I always like helping to create new content for the channel. So okay, guys, well that's it. Pretty much. I will have more interviews coming up in the next few days or so. So thank you for watching, and have a good night. So
Thank
bye.
you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.